Hey guys, it's Michael here for MMOHut.com. Today I'm going to do a gameplay video for Path of Exile, a 3D action MMO published by Grinding Gear Games. I'll spend about 20-25 minutes or so, of course, checking the game out, making some comments. If you guys want to learn more about Path of Exile, you guys can check down below at MMOHut.com for the full review / game profile. So to begin with, we already did a first impression gameplay video for this a while back, where we talked about the opening aspects of the game, what made it unique. But recently, Grinding Gear Games gave me access to the alpha servers, where I could check out the new class, which is the Shadow class, as you can see here. A melee dexterity / intelligence class that focuses on kind of dashing in and out of combat, as well as laying traps and just kind of having all sorts of nastiness. So I thought I'd actually check it out and see what some of the higher level content in the game is like, and kind of give you guys an idea of what you can expect as you progress through the game. So let's see here. To bring up the little skill tree, as you can see by hitting P, you'll be able to see that the character is already aligned a lot with dexterity, 245 in dexterity and 133 in intelligence. Now, whenever you put in points into the dexterity or intelligence tree, you get things like evasion, accuracy, energy shields, and mana. Because this class is heavily focused on, dashing in and out of combat and evading attacks as well as laying down traps, those are your two skill points that skill areas that you should maximize the most points in. However, because Path of Exile doesn't restrict classes, meaning that any class can use any skill, and any class can basically use any weapon as long as they have the points for it, that doesn't mean that you have to play the Shadow class like this. It just means that this is naturally a tuned version of it. As you can see, when I bring up my inventory here, my Shadow class right now has two weapons. You have this Oblivion Fang Ambusher and the Gristle Flayer Slaughter Knife. Now, this is all pretty high level stuff. As you can see, each of these are slotted with different items, or different runes, I guess you could say. These themselves allow me to customize exactly what abilities they have. As you can see, they're actually attributed to each one of these as well. But there's also the addition here of support gems. And what support gems do is they take the abilities that you've actually slotted in here as well. Say, for example, Frostwall and Zombies. And this one increases the movement speed of minions. So what it actually does is when I cast and actually create a zombie here, as you can see by hitting E, this will actually increase his movement speed. So these customizable support gems add damage to abilities and utility spells that you have that normally wouldn't have those attributes, making it to where you can basically customize your character and then customize them further through the use of abilities here. So as you can see, I have things like Fire Trap, which actually triggers and does damage to enemies, but it also does things like cold damage, lasts longer, and increased chill duration, all through the use of these gems that I've slotted to go along with the Fire Trap. I have Temporal Change, which slows people down, reduces their attack speed, movement speed, and cast speed. And then of course I just use Raise Zombie there, and that actually makes them move faster because you saw that movement speed gem I put in there. There's also Frostwall, which allows me to create a Frostwall at a certain location. And if you notice, a Frostwall also deals additional cold damage. And if I slotted, say, something like Fire Gem in there, it would also do fire damage rather to anybody in that area. I've got this thing right here. It's called Wrath, which allows me to actually do additional increased area effect damage with lightning stacks. So I've got my typical dual strike and whirling blades, which is like a left click, right click, melee button. Whereas everything else is kind of like AOE situational traps and additional debuffs, etc. that I can place on the targets. So if we bring up the map here, actually, how am I going to bring up this map? I've forgotten. Oh yeah, I can just go out here and show you the waypoint. So if you bring up the waypoint here, I'm currently in this area here, which is a level 55 area. I am level 60 right now. 60 is not the cap. As you can see here, these kind of question marks are areas where the quests actually can occur, as well as areas I haven't explored. So as you can see, I have 3 quests right now. A couple of them are going here at level 55. I came in levels 55, this level 55 area, because I wanted to show you something that I thought was pretty unique. Coming up here, if you notice, these guys are not actually friendly. They have like these, the red bars, and it kind of actually shows that they resist certain things. This guy here, this guy's name is Oak. When I actually click on him, you notice that he actually talks a little bit about a certain quest that he would like to do. But when I continue, what actually happens is I can choose whether or not I want to kill him or I want to help Oak. Now this is pretty crazy, because if you choose that you want to kill him, all of his party members actually will start attacking you and you have to fend yourself off. Now what additionally is you also get plus 45 life permanently, which is actually pretty awesome. Now remember, this is all dynamic stuff, so he may not be here next time. This area may be completely different. So it really is imperative that do you choose to do this now, or do you actually help him? What happens if you help him, etc. Also, one thing to mention is you'll have to fight any party members who do not side with you. So if you're grouped up with other players, you're going to have to fight those players too, which is crazy to all of a sudden be against those players. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to help him, because I'd like to find out what exactly is going on. I knew you were worthy of the challenge. Go and rid the troubled land of 2 of the worst ailments, and before the light leaves, be sure to tell them that Oak sent you. Alright, so I gotta go kill some guys, so we're gonna get that quest, and I should be able to find out exactly where I need to go. I'm just gonna come here, and the Bandit Lord Oak requires me to go right up here. So I'm gonna click there and go to that level 55 area, entering the Broken Ridge. So this game is a lot like Diablo 2, as well as like Torchlight, etc., which are some of the other action dungeon-based MMOs available currently right now or coming out. The game definitely, in my opinion, has a little bit more customization, or actually a lot more customization than Diablo 3, and that's really awesome for people who want that level of depth. As you can see here, I'm kind of just like one-shotting these guys because I'm a little OP. I got some pretty nice items, and I also I've got some pretty nice abilities as well. Now, one thing I wanted to show you, I'm going to bring it up my character screen here. One thing I wanted to show you was the fact that this is on Merciless difficulty. So this is actually one of the higher difficulties, and this is only Act 2. It looks like my guy did die here. So I can see here, I can right-click and kind of go right through him. Oh, oh man, I'm bleeding. So it's not exactly easy. They may die pretty fast. Oh man, where did I end up at? All right, so Merciless difficulty here. Let's see. Let's go back to where I was. Boy, I should actually pay attention more. Alright, so let's go back here. So, first thing I can do here is I can apply my Wrath, which will actually put this little debuff aura around me, which allows me to do additional damage. Kill these guys in one hit, no problem. I'm going to go ahead and raise a zombie here. Actually, these guys, there's no corpses to raise a zombie. There we go, there's a corpse. If you actually blow them up using the ice, you know, if they turn into ice essentially, then what happens is you can actually raise a zombie because there's no body to raise a zombie, which I thought was pretty awesome. Alright, so one thing we'll do here is we'll put down this field. This will slow their attacks. I can also lay down up to 3 traps. So I can put these traps here and kind of just like kite them around a little bit. This class is meant to go in and out of combat. You're not meant to tank or anything like that. You notice I have this energy shield. Oh. I'm taking damage. I don't think I can actually move when that's happening to me. Had some type of bleed on me. You also notice that, oh, this guy is doing a lot of damage to me. Look at those guys. You also notice my zombie already died. Alright, get that guy. Alright, one more. There we go. So we've killed all them. As you can see, there's the items that we can pick up. I do have a couple, looks like legendaries on me. As you can see, the Mega Nord Girdle Health Belt, Heavy Belt rather, which increases my maximum life, cold resistance, etc. There are a lot of extra attributes, you know, like cold resistance, etc. like that allow you to custom tailor your character how you like. And of course, Path of Exile having that huge, customizable slot screen allows you to really tailor your character to exactly what you want him to be like. So although right now this is, the typically how the Shadow class will be played, this intelligence, dexterity class, you could potentially go into the string class and have him be more of a heavy hitter, slow attacker kind of guy. This guy right here, big bears. Actually, it's like a mutated bear. All right, so let's pull back here. I'm gonna heal up just a bit here, as you can see. So you kind of gotta watch out, make sure that you kite as much as possible. Put that there. So this, as you can see, they make them attack a lot slower, which is good. You want to debuff them, of course. And as you can see over here, we actually just realized that these gems are ready to upgrade. So one thing that's actually pretty awesome is that, how do I upgrade? Do I just click on them? This gem is ready to level up. Usually last time you just clicked up here where it was like, but now they're up here. How do I level these up? It's ready to be leveled up. Well, maybe it's a bug. But yeah, you're actually able to level up the gems. So the gems are what give you the abilities. You don't actually get abilities per class, which makes it so that anybody can have any abilities. If you remember my original first impressions gameplay, I mentioned that you could have like a witch with melee abilities, or a Templar kind of guy, kind of like a paladin sort of guy with range abilities. So you can kind of mix and match these to kind of give you the best options that you like to play, your suitable playstyle. You don't have to be confined to certain abilities per class. Let's kill these guys here. Use some of my abilities. This one, my right click actually allows me to dash forward. I can dash and do damage to them. And it has some additional attributes to it as well if we actually take a look. Alright, here. Now if I hit tab, I can actually see my little map here, which is very much like Diablo 2-esque. It's kind of like light overlay. You can kind of see exactly where we're going here. Kill these bridge behemoths. Kind of look like bears to me, but we're going to call them bridge behemoths. Eat that up. Now, what's cool about the HP pots is that you don't actually grab them off of dead enemies. You go through those, slice through these guys. As you can see, I duck in and out of combat as quickly as possible. Oh man, that did a lot of damage. You don't actually get them by picking them up off of dead enemies. The way you get them, what is that? Crested Tower Shield? The way you get them is by, let's see, put this shield on. See, he can't pass through that. He has to actually go around. You get them just by fighting and killing enemies, and they will automatically refill these, so you can actually use them. So they also have additional stats to them as well. 63% increased evasion rating. This one, 25% reduced amount of recovery, instant recovery below 35%. So they all have like these individual attributes to them, which allows for further customization. You know, getting these HP and mana pots that allow you to further tailor exactly how you play and exactly how you recover your HP, which is pretty awesome. Let's look at our map here again. We gotta go this way. And I believe there is a entering the crossroads. Now let's see. Is it crossroads where we have to go? Let's see. There we go. I need to go. Nope. It looks like I need to go down to the bottom right. So we're gonna go back over here. I need to keep venturing down to the bottom right. What other abilities do I have? So of course we have our shield that we can put on. Raise myself another zombie. We have the traps. We can do up to 3 traps at a time. My zombie doesn't last very long right now. Most likely because these guys hit fairly hard rather. And I do have very good items for my level. So how do I... One thing that's really cool though about the skill system or gem skill system is you can sell those. So let's say for example that you have a gem that you no longer going to use anymore, but is a good gem. You've leveled it up quite a bit, and it's a good ability for some people who may want that. It may be a rare gem, you know, a rare ability. Let's get rid of some of these. You can actually sell that gem or level that gem up and then sell it, and it becomes a commodity that people may want to use or may want to have. So that's one way you can actually promote commerce in the game. Of course, it is a multiplayer game, so you can play with as many people as possible. Right now, being on the test server, there isn't anybody online, but normally you see people chatting, and you can kind of group up with them to complete the harder dungeons, etc. I come this way, so that's where I came from. Let's see, can I go around it? Nope. How did I bring up the map before? Okay, so Y brings up the map. As you can see, I'm up here. This is where I need to be. Let's see. I'll go to bring the amulet of his rivals, Alira and Carrier. Alira can be found in the west of town through the dark forest. Carrier can be found in the east of town through the crossroads. So, wasn't that where... It indicates this is where the quest is. Right here. So that's where I was. Let's come over here and try to venture forth. Maybe I'm missing something. As you can see, when I hit tab, it shows up on the top right that this is the default league, so this isn't hardcore or anything like that. Monsters are level 54, merciless difficulty in the area. This reminds me a lot of Diablo 2 map. So I came from there. To bring that back up, I can look. See, can be found with your Caitlin can be found in the east of town through the crossroads. So through the crossroads. Maybe if I come up here, just making sure that there's nothing up more northern here. It doesn't look like it, but we'll make sure that I'm not missing anything. So games like this definitely promote exploration and going through the dungeons multiple times. They're all different every time. So because they're randomized, so you know you'll get different mobs with different abilities, different resistances, making it a challenge every time. Which is what made Diablo 2 so popular. As you can see there, it just had skills leveled up, so they just now became available. So as you can see, when I click these, they'll do more damage, they'll do more slowing, etc., depending on what they are. And then I can also sell those once I'm done with them if I don't want to actually use them. So you know, we actually made the raised zombies more powerful. So it should actually have more HP, more damage. It should survive longer. Let's use some of our skills here. Put down a couple traps. As you can see, these actually will slow them some. And this class is all about the slowing, the debuff, making sure that these guys don't hit you as much as possible. Oh man, wasn't paying attention, trying to hit my skill again. So you know, you can't get caught off guard and definitely get taken out if you're not careful here. Let's see here. Let's see. Tina's asked you to look at the Hand of Good Man in the ruins of the church dungeon. Ah, so why don't we go to the church dungeon, level 1. So this is one of the dungeon areas, which are, of course, lower lighting. You know, you can't actually see as much, you know. Which I think the grittiness style of this game is actually quite nice. You know, you don't have a lot of light to work with here. There's a couple lighting sources there, but pretty much you don't know what's up ahead until you actually encounter it. So it's like a cathedral. Oh, Crypt Weavers. There's an urn. Anything in the urn? Nah. I've got pretty good items, so I'm not going to be like, you know, looking at my loot, etc. But this is a loot-driven game, so people are going to want to actually rerun these dungeons at higher difficulties for the best loot possible. Alright, I want to raise myself a zombie. I raised myself a zombie out of a skeleton who had no flesh, which I thought was pretty funny here. Now, I myself have been playing Diablo 3, and while I do like Diablo 3, there are a portion of this... Whoa! So it looks like your light actually will grow dimmer. Your light actually will grow dimmer when you start taking HP, and you actually may lose your life, and so you can actually kind of get an indication of how low you are just by looking at how much is dimming. So I gotta remember to actually keep spamming these when necessary. Forgive me, guys. This is a harder difficulty, and this is the first time that I actually have played the class. So of course I'm going to be not as great as someone who has played this from level 1. So we're going to come over here, kind of explore a little bit. So I can like come back here, I can put the shield up, and it does a little damage, and they can't actually get through. And in the meantime, I can lay some traps. So if I get these guys to come through, they should actually use those traps, do a lot of damage, take them out. Alright, slow this guy down. So these monsters here, they have their own individual unique aspects to them. Open those up. Now, if anything, one thing I could tell the developers that I'd like to see different that I have enjoyed from the, Diablo 3 that I haven't seen in this game is the ability to drop items that I don't want. Now, in the current system, what happens is you'll get an item that you don't want, right? And you actually have to... Oh. Well, that was close there. You put the debuffs field down, which will slow their attack speed and movement speed. But you'll get an item that you don't want, right? So let's say you don't want this item. In order to actually drop this, I have to drag it out here, and normally in Diablo, you just do that and it would drop it. But I actually have to click. Now, in a fast-paced game where you're picking up items that you don't want all the time, having the ability to just quickly drop items, and that extra click really does add a little bit of tedium time to that. So by being able to just simply flip it out of your inventory as fast as possible as you move through a dungeon and you clear, because people want to clear these things really quickly, would be a great asset. I'm going to raise a zombie out of a spider. So I guess you can raise a zombie out of anything that was living. So these guys, you know, will slow, of course, to do extra damage. Put that little debuff on them. Now, of course, these aren't all the abilities that I would have at my disposal, but these are the abilities that we're set up with. And, you know, you could possibly have one that's more of like a range style where I would attack from afar, put the debuffs on the ground, you know, traps, etc. But you could see this class being very useful in parties with, you know, being standing back a little bit, raising all these walls, debuffs, etc. to kind of have the most control over the fight. Let's see here. As you can see, you can look at the dungeon here. There's different rooms. Having the most control of the fight, and then once those things are put down and, you know, the fight is underway, they can move in using the right left mouse button to actually go in and do that damage. So we're going to continue to explore this way. Oop, more mobs. So put these traps down. So there's a unique mob in the back there. Silver cast. As you can see, you resist fire, regenerates life, immune to curses, grants frenzy to allies, which I believe is that green ball that's around them. Raise myself another zombie here. And the more you use the skills, of course, the more it'll have the potential of leveling up. Oh man, look at all these spiders. Spider! don't like spiders. Crypt Weavers are down. Alright, so what do we got here? Continue progressing downwards. So this is just Cathedral level 1, of course. And you have mobs in here, you know, those are like mini bosses, but you have, of course, the actual mega bosses as well. Those that have a ton of HP will require full cooperation with your teammates to actually do. I can put that shield up here, do extra damage to them, and also cut them out. Raise myself another zombie. There we go. He'll take some of the damage for me while I take care of the boss. Brittle archers are now down. So as you can see here, we can look at items just by hovering over them and actually see what is actually available. So you do identify items much like you do in other dungeon crawl games like Diablo and Torchlight, etc. But the additional grittiness of the game, as well as the fact that the huge amount of customization that's available, is quite impressive. And being free to play, of course. Whereas Torchlight 2, I believe, is $20, and Diablo is, of course, $60. Path of Exile is free to play. And, you know, they did mention that there is no going to be pay to win. You know, there's most likely going to be things like cosmetic upgrades, make your characters stand out and look different. There's dungeon level too. And really kind of give yourself a distinction among other people. But no kind of pay to win, you know, boost your character, make them super powerful, etc. More flame bishops, thunder bishops. Put that little debuff down here, slows their attacks and movement speed. This is a good attack for both getting in and out of combat, as you can go through multiple enemies here very quickly. Can I raise the zombie out of that? No, I cannot. And you can also get out of combat extremely fast. I'm going to lay some traps down. Take out this last guy, the Vault Hammer. Raise myself a zombie here. Throw in a trap. And I mean, what's cool is that, you know, these abilities can all be customized with other abilities as well. So you can have combo abilities, abilities that kind of work off each other. You can have, for example, you know, a fireball that also does additional cold damage, or you have, like I said before, the ice wall that does, you know, fire damage when people touch it, etc. Whoa, here looks like a boss. So let's make sure that we got no additional mobs around here. I'm gonna summon myself a zombie. He just rezzed that guy. All right, so we're gonna put down our little traps here. Hopefully, take this guy out without him killing me. Put on a little more. Kind of cut those guys off a little bit. Did I kill him, or did he teleport? I think I killed him, because I am super strong. You know, normally this wouldn't be as easy for me to kill these guys, simply for the fact that I don't think, you know, when you first start progressing into this, you have quite the items that I have. I do have quite good items on this pre-made character. So these would be actual challenges that you need to actually approach these, you know, and kind of like look at what you're fighting against, and then go in. Of course, you know, there's still the hack and slash style gameplay that everybody loves with dungeon crawlers like Diablo, etc. Where like the mini guys, you can go through and just, you know, kill them in 1 or 2 shots, you know, feel really strong. But then you get to the bosses and you gotta be a little bit more careful how you approach them. One of the beefs that I currently have with Diablo 3 that I don't have with this game is the feeling that, you know, the custom packs, the custom mob packs, those that are like elites, etc., special mobs, don't feel like they're more stronger than boss mobs. One thing about Diablo currently is that you can have some really stupid. It looks like he's only got a little bit of HP left. Let's see if I can summon another one. Nope. Can't summon another one to another. That may be something I'd like to do. Or perhaps I just need to summon one out here. Yeah, okay, no, he's at full HP again. Oh wait, no, I summoned 2. So now I have 2 zombies. So you can actually have necro classes, which is awesome. Okay, it looks like you can have maybe up to 3 of them, which is pretty cool. If you guys remember necromancers from Diablo 2, that's actually really awesome that you can have multiple one of those. I like that feature a lot. God, I'm gonna have to get the raised zombie skill definitely when I play this game. So, one thing in beef is that some of the combinations are pretty unfair in Diablo. You get certain mob packs that really has nothing to do with skill, but more of just like stupid fights. You know, they have abilities that really just make it impossible for certain types of class to do well against them. Oh man, you gotta spam that HP, get that HP back up. All right, where'd my zombies go? Are my zombies even still alive? I didn't even see them die. Kill this Death Prophet there. That Flame Bishop. Are you guys over here? Alright, there they are. So they can work a little bit on the pathing AI for those, but I do like that they're positioned here. They kind of act as my meat shields. Alright, so come through these, kill these guys. So the way the MMO portion of this works is that in the main towns, you know, you can see everybody that's in that town, and then once you venture out past that, you actually get into areas that are like instant space for yourself. Now some of you may think, well, that's like Vindictus, or that's like, you know, Dragonist, etc. like that, but it's a little different simply for the fact that, let me raise another one of these. Simply for the fact that this is how, you know, dungeon crawlers like Diablo and like Path of Exile and Torchlight work. They, you know, the main areas can be an area where you can trade with other people, you can talk with other people, as well as you can talk in the world chat with other people as well. So you get that community aspect to that. But then you have the areas which are specific to you. So if you wish to play the game single player, or you wish to play a game, you know, by yourself, you don't need to do party up with people. But when you do party up with people, you're offered greater challenges, greater loot, etc. like that. I'm gonna continue progressing through here. This game really gives off a good Diablo 2 feeling, which I think a lot of people, you know, which is kind of like what they were going for in this game. If I remember correctly, the developers, Grinding Gear Games, were a little bit fed up with waiting for Diablo 3, so they decided to form their own company to make their own game. And this game, in my opinion, is a true successor to Diablo 2, whereas Diablo 3 feels like a little bit more of like a basic version of Diablo 2, or a basic version of the Diablo franchise. You know, easier to get into, most definitely, not as much customization to have to worry about, but certainly doesn't offer you that depth of play. Would I see myself playing this game? I would definitely see myself playing this game. I am a huge fan of these dungeon-style crawler games. And if anything, the only other beefs I would have is a slight, you know, improving of the animations. Some of the oh, this guy here got a lot of HP. Can I advise a mob? I cannot. Oh, fire gem ready to level up. Some of the animations a little bit stiff, so if they could actually improve that just a little bit, improve, you know, the meaty hits, etc., I feel like it would be in a really good place, because, you know, left clicking, right clicking is, oh, he froze me. Left clicking, right clicking is half the game, you know, and so you really want to make it feel like your attacks are really doing that impactful damage, you know. Maybe kicking that guy and having him, you know, scatter in his bones, kind of rolling down the steps, etc. like that would be a nice feature. Oop, guys crawling up. Raise myself some zombies out of spiders. I guess I maybe put them back together as people. And maybe I'm carrying just like human parts in me, and I just need a brain and some organs to actually complete it. And just carry around like body parts and blood. But I do think it's actually really cool that they kind of leave this trail of blood behind them, like they're always losing their HP. Really nice feature. Nice touch of detail. Get that in everybody. Alright, so we continue through this map. See if there's anything else I'm missing here. So this is where we just were. Ooh, more spiders. I also like, you know, this is where I came in, but if you notice, there weren't, you know, spiders. These spiders didn't come up when I first came in here. They only came up after I progressed to it once more, which is actually pretty awesome. That, you know, they have this, like, you know, you can go through the same area and be like more mobs, etc. Like things that you've missed, etc. like that. Looks like there's some mobs in here we can kill. This place just keeps getting more and more spiders. I'll use myself a zombie out of these guys. Alrighty. And this, you know, this is actually pretty hard. I'm a little bit lost as to where I'm supposed to go in this area here, because as you can see, it's quite in depth. There's a lot of labyrinth areas, a lot of areas to explore, etc. And these are all randomized every time, so you'll never know the layout more than, you know, once. These areas will be given added, you know, labyrinth areas, or it'll change. You know, be different every time you load this area up. Let's see, what is that? I think that goes up. I think that's where we came in. So we're gonna look for another one of those orange ones to go down further, or perhaps that was the whole dungeon. One thing that may be a nice feature is to have the ability at the end of the dungeon, for example, let's say you've cleared this whole dungeon, and you want to go back to the surface. You don't want to teleport to the away point specifically, but you want to go back up to the surface where you actually entered this dungeon to you know, maybe go around and explore further in other areas. So having something at the end of the dungeon where essentially you can just go, it seems like there would be something here, maybe not. So you can just go back to the surface would be a nice feature. And I think I've actually explored all of this. Or if I'm missing something, I don't actually see it. Well guys, I'm probably going to call it there for now, but I'm glad I could actually show off some of the newer features of this game, and the newer class rather. And I hope you guys enjoyed this second look at Path of Exiles. And man, look at that skill tree. As you can see, you know, once I level up some more, I'll be able to keep spending more and more points here, keep adding more and more to this giant skill tree. And in fact, I can refund skills as well if I wish, and respec. So I'm not, you know, forced into this, you know, making a bad decision that I later regret. I could actually respec and change those skills so I have exactly what I want. And plus, my, you know, abilities all can be changed out at any time. As long as I have the different actual gems to do so. I can just pull those gems out, no problem. What did I do? I put that there. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and leave off for now, guys. If you guys want to learn more about Path of Exile, ooh, I like that helm. If you guys want to learn more about Path of Exile, you can check down below at MMOHut.com for the full grain profile and later on review. This has been Spunkify. I'll see you guys later. Where are you going? You just run around in circles. Did you just stand still for 2 seconds? Ah, this has been Spunkify. I'll see you guys later. Spunkify out.